So if you thought amen was an ancient affirmation that had nothing at all to do with biological sex, stand corrected. How does this empower women exactly? That's a question that Tulsi Gabbard, who is a former congresswoman from Hawaii, a Democrat, has been pondering. She introduced a bill last year to stop biological males from participating in women's sports. That bill is expected to be introduced later this month. And we said former, we didn't mean it because until January 20th, she still serves. And we're thankful for that. Congresswoman, thanks for joining us tonight. So how does it
Thank you, Tucker.
empower women to ban the acknowledgement that women exist?
It absolutely does the very opposite of that. And it's the height of hypocrisy for people who claim to be the champions of rights for women to deny the very biological existence of women. And this recent rule change that the House just actually voted and passed on today that you were talking about, removing references to, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters from congressional rules and administration, it's mind-blowing because it shows just how out of touch with reality and the struggles of everyday Americans people in Congress are, but also it shows that, their first act as this new Congress could have been to make sure that elderly Americans are able to get the COVID vaccine now alongside frontline healthcare workers, elderly Americans who have the highest mortality rates from this virus. But instead of doing something that could actually help save people's lives, they're choosing instead to say, well, you can't say mother or father in any of this congressional language. It's astounding.
It's confusing, too, because the very people who claim to celebrate diversity, differences, and differences are what make the world interesting and worth living in my opinion, are the same ones trying to impose by force this creepy corporate sameness where we're all sort of widgets in a bin waiting for assembly. Like, do they really think there aren't differences between the sexes? Honestly, sincere question.
I don't know how to answer or explain what they think. And this is why Congressman Markwayne Mullin and I, we introduced my legislation, the Protect Women's Sports Act that you briefly mentioned, out of a recognition that this legislation is actually necessary. When you look at why Title IX was created, it was created out of this recognition that there is a biological distinction between men and women and boys and girls. And it recognized that because of that, there needs to be a level playing field for girls and women to be able to compete and play in sports. Now, the reason why our bill is necessary to strengthen and clarify and uphold Title IX is because of the things that you're talking about, because there are people who are trying to undermine the very place by denying my existence, denying the existence of biological women. It defies common sense. It defies basic established science. It just doesn't make any sense.
No wonder they called you a Russian spy. It was dangerous having you in the Democratic Party. I'm sorry you're leaving. Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii, it's great to see you tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Tucker.